Hello again, dudes and dudettes. Jedi Master Paul here. AKA I'm the Dude 5. So, it's been about 3 years and 8 months to the day, actually, that I have owned any sort of either prop replica or like high quality, like I wouldn't say factory made, but maybe handcrafted battle ready lightsaber. There are multiple lightsaber companies out there that build lightsabers that are made mainly for just looking awesome, as well as actually battling with them. There's Sabre Forge, there's Ultrasabers. I recently discovered a new one called Electrum Sabercrafts. Before I get into what this video is going to be about, I just kind of want to go over a few things. In the past, I have only ever bought lightsabers from Ultrasabers.com. I love the way they do business. I love their products, and when I've compared it to any other high-end handcrafted lightsaber or prop replica that I've seen, I am hard-pressed to say that I prefer anything other than Ultrasabers, but, you know, everybody's different. I am going to do a little bit of a comparison based on research that I've done and what I've seen. So basically, if you're going to compare Sabre Forge with Ultrasabers, there are some slight differences. With Sabre Forge, I would say that prices can generally be a little bit lower, and you can customize your saber with actual like saber parts, like the pommel, the hilt, the emitter, and all that stuff in the switch. You can actually customize it that way, like what the actual saber is made up out of. And I think you can do the same thing with Ultrasabers too, but Ultrasabers tries more to push their pre-built saber hilts, of which they have numerous ones. The fancier looking and the newer that they are, the more expensive the hilts just by themselves can get. I was listening to some of the Sabre Soundfonts that Sabre Forge offers, and they sounded pretty good, but they didn't sound quite as clear and crisp as Ultrasaber's Obsidian Soundfonts. Based on what I heard. Now, even with some of the different customization options that Sabre Forge offers, I would say that to me they still look like prop replicas, and even if they are capable of actually dueling and sparring with actual with other lightsabers, even if they're made to take a bashing, personally, I think, to me, based on what I've seen, to me they look like a little bit underpriced prop replica sabers, and they don't have nearly as much sound and color customization that Ultrasabers does. Ultrasabers crafts all of their sabers from aircraft grade metal alloys and aluminum, and their polycarbonate saber blades are always made from high quality polycarbonate plastic, which is pretty much the same stuff they use to make riot shields. These things are made to beat around. These things are made to duel. From the sabers I've gotten from them in the past, depending on the saber that you get, depending on the design, some of them are a bit heavier to swing around. Most of them, however, are pretty fun and pretty lightweight, I think. And especially if you get like their emerald and diamond sabers, you can customize any and all sound fonts that you want. You can even customize different motion gestures in your diamond sabers if you want to program a certain gesture and swing motion. And you can also customize your sabers for your emeralds and diamond sabers to be any color you want. So you don't have to pick a definitive blade color. You can customize it through the Obsidian launcher to be literally any color you want. And there's like thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of colors and shades, different shades to choose from, all with their high quality LED bulbs that they build into the hilt itself. Also, based on what I've researched and from what I've seen, the light quality of Ultrasabers LEDs combined with their blades is the brightest and some of the best quality that I've seen as well. In real life, like if you're looking at it like in person, obviously you can tell that it's, not real. But I've done a couple of Ultrasabers reviews in the past, one with the Overlord that I used to have, and also one with the Renegade that I used to have. And on camera and on video, when you power up an Ultrasaber's lightsaber, it looks incredible. Absolutely incredible. The color is bright and shining. It looks real. It looks as close to a real lightsaber as you're ever going to get. I also did a little bit of a research into Electrum Sabercrafts. I've been seeing a lot of ads on Facebook when I've been scrolling through, and I looked at some of their options, their customization, and their pricing. To me, they seem like around the same price overall as most Ultrasabers with sound, even with basic sound. But to me, they seem a little bit like overpriced prop replicas. That's the other thing between different saber companies and Ultrasabers, is that when I look at other saber companies and then I look at Ultrasabers, the way Ultrasabers designs their sabers, like, for people like me, yeah, I want something that's going to look like it's out of Star Wars, because this stuff is out of Star Wars. I mean, you've never heard of a lightsaber in any other kind of sci-fi movie or show. Star Wars was the first media to introduce what we know as lightsabers. So if you're going to purchase a lightsaber, obviously you're going to want something that looks like it's out of Star Wars, but you don't want it to look exactly like a certain character's lightsaber. Like, you want to customize it. You want it to look like it's out of Star Wars, but it's also unique in its own way, like it's your own. And Ultrasabers, even though they come out with new designs based on different shows and movies where there have been different lightsabers, they've just for example, I mean, obviously from Episode 1, Phantom Menace, they designed light staffs. They sell double-bladed lightsabers. Also, Count Dooku's curved lightsaber, they made that. They made curved lightsaber designs, but it doesn't look exactly like a certain character's lightsaber. It looks like the design, but it's still customized to look unique in its own way, and you can customize the blade color and the sound, and I just feel like ultimately, even though it may end up costing a little bit more money, it's absolutely worth it. Because based on other saber companies, what I've seen them sell, and some of the research I've done, Ultrasabers' sound that comes out of their sabers, their Obsidian soundboards, sounds cleaner, crisper, more realistic. the real life like swing motion and clashing sounds is as close as it possibly can be. There may be some delays here and there, but ultimately it sounds pretty on par and realistic with however you're swinging and hitting your saber around. Second, the light quality of their blades is bright, never falters. It looks amazing captured on video and on camera. So from what I've seen, probably the best quality LED lighting and light effects that I've seen, and offers probably the most customization in a lightsaber that you will ever find on the market. Not just with sound, but also blade color. And I'm pretty sure you can also build your own saber and buy different customizable parts from Ultrasabers too. So there's probably different pricing guides and stuff for that. So ultimately, I just feel like Ultrasabers is the better company to go with when shopping for lightsabers. And you can do stunt sabers without sound if you just want something to swing around. You don't have to spend a whole ton of money if you just want something to start out with to practice. There's dirt cheap sabers that you can get for less than $100. And obviously, as you go up through the different hilt designs, depending on whatever you want, hell, I've even, this is going to sound really funny, but the numerous times that I've scrolled through the different customization options through ultrasabers.com, when you're looking at all the hilts, if you scroll down far enough, you will find Thundercats sword hilts. I'm talking Lion-O's sword from the show Thundercats. You will find a Thundercats hilt. I'm not kidding. Go on Ultrasabers, scroll through the hilts, and you'll find it. It's awesome. If you want a Thundercats lightsaber, you could get a fucking Thundercats lightsaber. Okay? If you wanted. That's just, I'm just putting that out there. But all that being said, I am here to review my brand spanking new saber that I bought on Black Friday for 15% off. Currently through December 11th, Ultrasabers is having 20% off all sabers for Cyber Monday sale. I got free shipping on this saber that I bought on Black Friday. They were offering 15% off. And because I spent the amount that I did on it, I also got a free Ultrasabers t-shirt, a free blade plug, a free saber stand as well. And this was the deal of the day that they had going on, and for so long have I wanted a double-bladed lightsaber, or otherwise known as a light staff, or a saber staff. So, allow me to show you guys the Ultrasabers Crimson Dominicide. This is one of their newest models, as opposed to some of their other double-bladed lightsabers, where normally you would screw two different hilts together via a vented coupling near the pommels. This hilt is one solid hilt. There's no two hilts screwed together. It's just one hilt. Okay? I had a CoverTech wheel installed on this, and it's also only one button that activates both blades. Right now I've got the blade plugs in. I had the Obsidian V4 soundboard installed on this for $10 extra. And for $10 extra, if you have this come installed with the V4 soundboard, it comes with pretty much their 8 main different sound fonts that they have on their Saber forums, or on their sound fonts on their website. It comes installed with 8 different sound fonts. It comes with their default. Let me set this down real quick. It comes, the V4 soundboard, it comes installed with their default, the Black Star sound font, episodes 1, 2, and 6, Ancient Saber, which I'll show off all these different sound fonts as well. And then you can also, I believe, Sith, and then what was that? It was There's the default, Black Star, I think Sith, Ancient Saber, episodes 1, 2, and 6, and then mute. You can mute the sound altogether. And I'll show you guys how to do that in a minute. The blade color that I got put on this for the LEDs was Blue Violet Amethyst, so it's kind of like a deep bluish purple that I think fits the Saber itself. I'll pick this back up. The Dominicide comes in 4 different anodized finishes. This is crimson, otherwise red. It also comes in standard black, azure or blue, and also limited edition gold. So the deal of the day that they had going on for Black Friday was crimson. It looks pretty good. I'm going to power it up for you right now. I have the Black Star Soundfont active on this right now, so just take a listen. It's pretty bright on camera, but I've got the blade plugs in to just kind of protect the LEDs when the blades aren't in the Saber. I'm going to do this Saber lockup sound. To me, the Black Star Soundfont, I think, suits this Saber very well because it's got a very low rumbling idle hum, a nice purring sound to it. I think the episode 1 swing motions might suit this better because it would be more akin to Darth Maul's saber staff spinning, the way it sounds anyway. But Saber lockup, flash on clash I got installed in this. It flashes silver in the Saber lockup and on the clash. And so comes standard with these red claw emitter finishes. The emitters can unscrew as well. It's not quite as heavy as the Renegade hilt, especially with the blades in, but it's still semi-light enough to swing around. I did get rechargeable batteries put in this, as well as a recharge port for an AC adapter, so it can always stay charged. I have to say, I'm pretty... For 3 years and 8 months, almost 4 years for me since I've had a lightsaber, I'm very, very pleased with this. The only issue I've encountered with this so far is, for some reason, I don't know which one, but one of these red grips I don't think was either mounted fully or properly or like glued in properly to the hilt, and it gets a little loose sometimes, and it's even come out. So one of these grips is not like the other, unfortunately. But it's not really been too much of an issue so long as I just kind of hold it tight. So it's different. It's a different kind of saber for me to practice with. Since I've never swung a light staff around before, I'm used to just single-bladed sabers for the most part. But this is pretty effing cool. All of them are. So for diehard Star Wars fans like myself, if you've got the money, spend it. After 15% off, for me, this was about $461, and they did free shipping through USPS, although usually Ultrasabers ships through FedEx. And I've had issues with FedEx in the past, but luckily this was an early Christmas present for me. So I'm going to cycle through the different sound fonts. In order to do that, you just press and hold, when the saber is off, you press and hold the on button. So that's the Black Star sound font. That's Ancient Saber, and then you press and hold to activate.
Confirm.
kind of a long powering down sound, but I underestimated how cool the Ancient Saber Soundfont would sound on this thing. I think it actually suits it pretty good. I'm going to have to try it with the blades in at some point. After I cycle through these Soundfonts, I'm also going to show you what this looks like with the blades in the light and the dark, just so you guys can see. So that was the Ancient Saber Soundfont. Episode 1. Episodes 1, 2, and 6, they sound pretty basic. Each one sounds a little bit different than the last, so I'll kind of try to describe the differences.
Episode 2. Episode 6.
That's the default.
Confirm.
So it's got that quick hissing ejection sound. Yeah. It's definitely got that Darth Maul saber staff sound. It sounds more akin to that sound effect from the movie. And the clashing sounds are very quick and precise. A lot of hissing mixed with crackling for the lockup. And the quick shh. So that definitely sounds a lot more like Episode 1 sabers, especially Darth Maul's saber staff. So Episode 1. Episode 2.
Confirm.
So that definitely sounds a little quicker ejection. Very short, quick saber swing sounds. I don't really like it too much. Same thing with the clashing sounds. Definitely sounds like they ran those lockup sounds through a synthesizer.
Episode 2. Episode 6.
So, Episode 6, Return of the Jedi.
Confirm.
Very quick, but also a sharp sound for the ejection. Has more of a classic sound, very short, precise sounding swing motions. Sounds like deflection. Definitely a lot more crackling there for the lockup. And very quick, sounds like Luke's lightsaber, his green lightsaber from Return of the Jedi. Very quick power off.
Episode 6.
That's the mute. This is the default sound that came pre-installed on my Overlord.
Confirm.
This sounds like a mix of Episode 6 and Episode 1 almost. Not bad. The default sound effect sounds pretty good. It's a very solid sound font. Definitely heavy crackling on the lockup for the default sound. I'm gonna switch it back to Black Star.
Confirm.
Alrighty. I guess I was wrong on the Sith sound font.
Ancient Saber. Episode 1. Episode 2. Episode 6. Black Star.
Confirm.
Alright. So basically those were all the sound fonts and kind of what they sounded like, each of them. I am going to cut to where I put the blades in these, and I can show you what it looks like all lit up with the blades and everything. So I'll be right back with you guys in a sec. Alrighty, so this is going to be a blade test in the light. Yeah, so that shows up very bright on camera. No matter what quality camera you're using, it shows up amazing. I did a measurement. The hilt itself is about 18 and a half to 19 inches long. I'd say about a solid 18 inches long. From blade tip to blade tip, these are both, I think, 32-inch blades on either side. I measured from tip to tip, and it's 78 and a half inches long. If you get pretty much the standard size 32-inch blades that this recommends. And that's, if you're shorter than me, and I'm about 5'10", if you're shorter than me, you might want to shrink it down to maybe a couple of 24-inch blades or smaller. It might look a little sillier with this beefy looking hilt, but this is about the max size that I can get away with, and I can barely get away with it, depending on how I swing this thing around. So 78 and a half inches long with two 32-inch blades. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the light behind me and show you guys what this looks like in the dark. Prepare yourselves. Ooh, baby. Check that out. Alright, so to wrap up the review, I would say, obviously, those things look way better in the dark than they do in the light. But to wrap this up, I just want to say one more quick thing, I think. When you're looking at the blades lit up in person, with the color that I chose, the blue, violet, amethyst, the LED lights inside the hilt, it tries to combine the blue with the purple in a way, and it makes for a pretty interesting effect in the blade color. depending on what blade you get, whether it be mid-grade or ultra edge mid-grade, and then they have heavy grade and ultra edge heavy grade. Depending on the inside wall of the Saber with the kind of plastic that they put into it. When you're looking at the blue-violet amethyst color on the blade itself, when it's lit up, you notice more of the blue color near the coming from the emitter to about a quarter of the way up the blade, and then from there you get more of the purplish color. But either in the light, but on camera, either in the light or the dark, you definitely, it registers as like a very bright, solid, like indigo / purple color on camera. But when you're looking at it in person with the blue-violet amethyst color option, you'll notice more blue coming from the beginning of the blade and then more purple as you get further up. So I think the color suits the blade itself. I'm definitely going to be doing another video in the near future of me swinging that around just to show you how cool it looks, because I can't really swing it around too much inside. It's an outdoor or big open space kind of a toy. So I love it. This is my first double-bladed lightsaber, and I'm super pleased with it. I can't wait to keep practicing with it in the future, probably for different birthdays and Christmases, both mine and my fiance's and even my son's birthdays and stuff down the road. I'll definitely be getting more sabers. So we're a nerdy family. We're a Star Wars family here at I'm the Dude Games. So that is my review of the Ultrasabers Crimson Dominicide. I want to thank everyone so much for watching. Until next time, stay classy, and I will see you all out there in a galaxy far, far away.